think both Wells and I like to talk too much for us to
Uh-huh.
actually do a 10-minute podcast.
I think it's possible this time,
For 10 minutes?
at least for me on my end.
Nah, you the subject expert on this. So I feel like that's where we're gonna lean on you here.
10 minutes.
Hey y'all, happy American Day. Happy 4th of July. If you celebrate. We're here chilling. We got a chance to it's been a while since we all been together record. I think one of my favorite podcasts, they one person was missing for like multiple episodes, and they started making these rumors about like, oh, is he still with them? Is he still with the crew or whatnot? So yeah, I think that's we was like one
Wait.
episode away from people starting to think, is Al with us or not? Or like, is he still with them? They was gonna
People were
start, yeah.
saying that? Who's saying
I mean,
that?
not about this podcast, but like one of the podcasts in my rotation of podcasts that I listen to. But I think that would have been super cool though if people had to started writing blogs like, oh, is Al still with the guys? Is it still VBG?
Yeah, I think
What's going on with those guys? I knew
there's
Todd
no
with.
rumors. There's no rumors.
Yeah, once we
Crazy.
get to the point where the rumor mill starts working with the podcast, we know we have made it. But hey, man, how are you fellas doing?
Good, dog. Just
Ready for
living
further.
life, man. Today's America Day.
Yeah, happy American
Right.
Day, man. Yeah,
4th
we'll
of
talk about.
July. Last
Yeah.
night, I thought people were shooting at my house. Like, it was just fireworks, bro. It sounds like guns were outside, but hey. America, the greatest country in the world, right?
I don't want us to
Yes.
lose money, so I'm gonna say yes. I don't want to be protested, but I
Yeah,
will
bro.
say this, man. My neighbors they about to get it going tonight like crazy. The fireworks, the whole weekend too. I just
Yeah,
want to
man.
get the most patriotic thing I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna put some burgers on the grill, and yeah, that's
You're not
just
gonna
like
you're not gonna sing this national anthem? You're not gonna do the Star
I will
Spangled
sing.
Banner?
I will put Whitney Houston's version of the Star Spangled Banner on repeat for a little bit because I feel like that is the greatest. And I have a patriotic playlist. I might drop that today too. We might
What
put that
the
on.
heck? You hear this, man?
Hey, it's Ray Charles singing "America the Beautiful." It's Marvin Gaye's Star Spangled Banner. It's like the blackest patriotic playlist you ever gonna find though. So just throwing that out there. Yeah. I might drop
The
that
one
today.
thing
But
that,
hey,
like, to just jump subject, the one thing that, like, you know, I'm not gonna say it. People might cancel me.
yeah, I felt like I was like, boy, we about to hit the edit button for real. I was like, where is he going with this one, man?
Is in that there, bro.
Yeah.
But let me just. I ordered something on Amazon. It still hasn't come, bro. Amazon Prime. Jeff Bezos, do better, bro. I got me like a walking treadmill underneath my desk. I'm gonna use just to burn some extra calories. I gotta say, working remote at home every day, you're gonna get big, bro. So
you should look at Facebook Marketplace first though, because I feel like
I've already ordered it. Jeff Bezos said it was gonna come yesterday, but now it's saying it's coming July 6th.
He just got married, so he's not really working right now.
Yeah, you're right. I should have figured.
It might be off.
Put in the description what you guys think about walking treadmills. I think I can get some extra steps with that.
It's really tough though, because the Apple Watch doesn't register the steps really well on it.
Oh, that's why I got the Whoop.
Well, I'm about to bleep that name out because they're not paying us. But Wels just gave me one too, so I'm gonna use mine. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep with mine on. But
okay, it's good stuff.
Yeah, like I said,
today's topic we're talking about video still king.
Yeah. Sorry.
VBG
So
uses it to move the needle.
Go ahead. I'll jump right in. Then
5 minutes into this podcast.
Well, Wels and I are professional yappers, bro. That's just what we do.
And some stress.
I'm not a professional yapper, bro.
All right, so we coming into this point because we just started working on a project which we're really happy about. If you watched the last podcast, we're meeting with Pastor Walker from Mount Pleasant Church and the Summit at Sawyer.
I gotta say something. That podcast, the camera was out of focus, so people could know. Sorry, the camera was out of focus. We apologize. We know. I don't know if Todd put in the description, but it was out of focus. Our camera was malfunctioning, out of focus, did not work. It turned on, we pressed play, And then Sony A7 IV failed us, bro. Sony failed us that day. It was autofocus, then it just changed. I don't know what happened there. But go ahead,
And
Todd.
that's probably because we were missing our expert cameraman, our expert videographer. Al.
Yeah.
Yes, because Al's like, super. You can see him; he's gleaning. He's ready to jump in and talk about this so much, but because he loves video so much, he actually really does.
He actually does. He actually does.
I only have
I was
40
actually
minutes to talk video for you guys.
was actually really amazed by so we're working on the Summit at Sawyer project, and Al couldn't make it. He had COVID, but he put in our Notion and our project board, he was putting in the settings that he wanted. And I just remember like looking over at Wels, like he's like putting the settings in, and he's like, "Yo, this guy is talented." Out of nowhere, and it's like, yeah, bro, like he like this uncanny ability. So we really gonna get him to talk a little bit about video today. I feel like in the world of AI, everybody has access to putting out a large quantity of videos, but it's the quality of the video that's really gonna cut through. And that's what we really want to talk about today. I'll talk about, well, Wels, actually, let's start with you. Let's talk a little bit about the video project you worked on with last year with the Incursion Place, where we go from, they had no video whatsoever, no photography whatsoever. And then we went to putting several videos up that are on their YouTube channel now.
I gotta say, I was a semi-professional videographer until we got out. It's no longer my role, but I think we've done a lot of work video wise for two nonprofit, not just the Encouraging Place, but also Catalyst, and we can even put Red 79 on there and even Raleigh Pilgrimage, even just we've done a lot of video work that just brought. I think video just tells the story so much better. I know, because we've seen it from we've seen different nonprofit, different clients from no video work to fully having a video library asset, because a lot of them, they have a video library asset they can just pull from. And so I think video really connects with people, especially the Encouraging Place. Last year we did the documentary for how they got started, and just told the story of Ellen and Reggie and the people in the community, what they doing. And I think that really resonate with their, not just board people that donates to them at their September celebration, where I think you said from our report they raised like half of their, I'm not gonna say the number, but it's a high number. Because of video work, they raised 50% of their yearly fundraising during that time. I think it plays a role. Even people said, like, after they saw it, I know Todd got a lot of comments, a lot of good things about like what we're doing, and other people. Just not only give the Encouraging Place what you can say exposure and how would I say that, in emotion to the name. Like they have like how would I describe this? Like they have like a personality now. We show their personality, their character. They are like a image in the eyes of people now. They see them different, not just of the nonprofit, but they can connect with them on an emotional level and different. I think that's what video brings. It brings that connection that like we seek as human beings in one-on-ones conversation. Like, and so I think our video work has not only increased the revenue, but increased donation for our nonprofit and our clients, but also made their brand, like increase their brand awareness and then make their trust to their clients. And so that's very important. And so I think that's what the three things I kind of saw as we kind of like finish this work, talk to people, even the viewing of our work, of video work. And so I'm excited for the next one. Can't wait. So
yeah, video adds legitimacy, and I feel like that is exactly what we like. The Encouraging Place already was a very legitimate organization.
Yeah,
they did really good work, but it's capturing that in such a way that people could see that and feel that emotionally. That was super important. Now Al's kind of Wels mentioned, he alluded to this, that Al's taking over the reins of all video work. So everything video now is going through him. And I do not like I cannot state enough how talented he is. And then we say this all the time, but like it's like what goes through his head. So you want to get out and kind of walk through, just because you've been doing videography for a really long time, whether it's weddings, whether it's
Real
music
estate,
videos, yeah,
It's
real
a
estate.
lot of weddings.
a lot of things like cars. You need to check out Shot Dinar, bro. His website coming
Yeah.
up soon.
Yes. When is the web? When is?
That's a great question. Maybe you have to put a sprint on that. Goodness. So we can just start with how
Well,
or like what's a
really,
project that changed my
yeah. Go
so
start there. Yeah. What is one video that you feel like shaped your perspective on storytelling? Because essentially, I think that's what separates what we do from just putting together. Like I think I mentioned before, I've had a client who's like, their idea of a video was, okay, you hold the camera and watch me talk about something that I could have made into a blog. When what we try to do is storytelling. So yeah, what's a video project that kind of changed your perspective on storytelling?
where's some I mean when it comes to weddings, you don't just show like the absolute beginning, middle, and end. Like you could set up a tripod and record a whole ceremony on one angle, and it's not appealing to anybody, and it doesn't help understand or like help them feel like they're at the wedding and they can see the love between the couple. But when it comes to like storytelling on that part, you can get like what I like to do. You can cycle between different like key events that happen during the wedding in the beginning, and then add like vows from the bride and the groom, while you're also seeing a montage of things that are happening during the wedding, the people that are there, you're setting the scene, especially in the beginning. If you have like you're using drones, you get the reception, you get the venue, you get the location, you're setting the scene, you're taking videos of decoration. It's like you're trying to build almost like an immersive experience for whoever's watching that video, to make them feel like they really was at the wedding, but they got to see everything, but in a short period of time. But it's a really great video. Yeah, it's not point and shoot. We don't point and shoot. You have to be intentional with what you're doing, understanding how you want the viewer to feel during their time that they're watching the video, whether it's 30 seconds or 5 minutes.
True.
That's how it goes with like movies. Movies are not just point and shoot. They're directed.
Yeah.
They're emotion filled. Like there's a lot of stuff that's put in there to keep you attentive for what 90 or 120 minutes. Some most movies.
I saw something like the other day on Instagram showing that like, hey, this is regular people perspective and this is professional creative mind, like meaning like photographer, videographer perspective. And then they kind of like doing this crop effect. It's a new thing on Instagram where these creative I follow, they do this crop effect where, hey, what regular people see and what we see. And every time I go scroll to the next thing, I'm like, oh wow, yeah, I'm a regular people. And it's like I don't think our clients and people that are a lot of people don't appreciate that. And I think a lot of times this type of art is falling. We see a lot, like I'm an engineer, so that's the thing that's coming nowadays, tech, this and that. People want to use AI. AI don't see that. That's why people don't forget. It's like AI don't see that perspective of what that creative person see, and that's so like the human touch in that will never get lost. I want to put that out. If people see that on Instagram, like yeah, definitely take a closer look at those trends. I think a lot of creative people are doing it. I think they doing it to show the difference between them and AI, and then there's a huge difference. So go ahead, Todd. I cut you off there.
So I guess when you're building your storyboard, and kind of both of y'all can kind of piggyback on this question, but when you guys are building your storyboard, how do you make sure that you're putting that emotion, or even kind of talk a little bit about your approach to storyboarding in that particular sense?
It's like 3 steps. You're trying to figure out the goal, trying to figure out the target audience, and the message that you're trying to send to the viewers.
Yeah. So those 3 steps, like really high overview of it. And I guess step 1, figure out the goals, like trying to understand what the client or this like the perspective of what the person wants. So like there is a lot of like talking beforehand to kind of like get the aspect, and then the target audience is very important because it depends how like the music, the sound design, right, Al? The visual design and just the editing, how it's gonna look. Like Gen Z's nowadays, you see them fast edits, some cool looking clips going using a really fancy sound design that's a trending song that's gonna catch their attention. But if I'm trying to reach like the baby boomers, like I'm not gonna put like, I don't know,
Tizo
what's his name?
touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tizo touchdown highlighted. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever listened to a Tizo touchdown. I don't even know who that is, but
And even the color grading, I don't know who that is. The color grading would be different.
Al
Very
actually
different.
did a YouTube video on that, like the power of color grading, and
Yeah.
it's like you see the emotions so much different. Like I'm able to see some of the raw stuff, the raw footage that we've put together, but then after I see it with the color grade, it's like, oh man, like, so it is kind of a full, like, from the visual to how it sounds to how it moves in the video. All of these things go into making sure to kind of build that emotion. And I think that's where we get things, not necessarily we get this right more than anybody, but I think this is where we kind of like we've cut our teeth, and we've really learned, and we're excelling in that area, kind of building that emotion into
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
I think no two video projects are the same. I think each one of our projects are getting better as time goes on. Wells, talk a little bit about, obviously you were kind of the main cameraman on the Summit at Sawyer project that we did last week. We're done shooting now. Kind of what's next? What's the next step on that process? Kind of give people a little behind the scenes on what we're doing as a team.
Yeah, that's a big project we're working on right now. A video documentary on a very awesome story. So next step, like we are trying to pretty much break down the video. We have a overall storyboard. We're going to listen to all the raw footages, which is it can be annoying sometimes, but when you have like an hour worth, or not an hour, I think it's probably like 2 hours worth of like listening audio, like one of our that's one of our like one of our steps to why we want to do storytelling. We don't want to just put together this like default thing. We really want to like attach what the people are saying to the B rolls we're gonna put, and how we gonna like make the story flow. And so this story is kind of like the documentary style, and so we want to listen to all the interviews, listen to what everyone says, and kind of plan the B roll around those things, around what they said. And so that's our next step. And then after that, I was gonna get those B rolls, and then we're gonna come back together and then put some drafts. So this is gonna be probably like around 30 minutes long, maybe more, documentary style, just giving.
We was going back and forth on that. I think at one point we were like, it's gonna be an hour long, and then now we're back at 30 now, so that's good.
I said 30 plus. It's
Yeah, good.
30 plus. Yeah. So that's that story's gonna be pretty good. And so like Al mentioning, setting the scene. Setting the scene is very important. Getting those B rolls to kind of like give different perspective, making people feel like they're part of this project. The story we're telling, they're a part of this story, or they can be part of it. That's the goal. The goal like is to get people to do this in their community. And so we want to show them how to do it, but at the same time, like walk them through it in a way they feel like it's definitely achievable, because it is. Because we telling this story because it's been achieved. So stay tuned. It's gonna be a fun process, and so we're excited. I think we definitely, like Todd mentioned, this is gonna be definitely award worthy. So we definitely gonna send this to and put this in an award somewhere. So when we'll come back to you guys so you can go vote.
Yeah. Well, and then, kind of when we think about video projects as a team, there's an aspect of balancing strategy with creativity. And I think that's where a lot of people, like, they either go one direction, they either go really heavy in one direction or really heavy in another. And I think for us, that's at the top of our mind is, hey, does this video convert? Right? What does conversion look like? What does it look like for this video to actually reach and complete its desired goal? And I saw a recent TikTok that's pretty viral. This guy is showing these restaurant videos where, hey, this one video is just showing all of these menu items in a really like creative way, and it's moving, but that doesn't convert. And that it's creative, but it doesn't convert. And then he shows kind of another video that it's okay. It's not the most creative video, but it converts and it gets you in there and it tells you, hey, this is where this place is, and this is how I can go to this place. And I think that's got to be for business owners out there as you are looking at investing in videography, as you're looking at investing in video marketing, that making sure, hey, what does conversion look for the encouragement place, that was, hey, we want to be able to tell the impact of what we are doing this particular year, what we did this past year, so that people will donate for next year. That's what
Yeah,
conversion
yeah.
looks like. So, and so I'll run down a couple of different stats. So 95% of companies consider video marketing essential this year. That's from sproutsocial.com. 89% of businesses actively use video in their marketing strategy. Video isn't optional; it's foundational now. It's got to be like an essential aspect to your business. 84% of viewers say a video convinced them to buy a product. That's from Outbrain.com. Short form videos under 2 minutes, they boast the best ROI. So 21% of marketers say they deliver the highest return. So that's also from sproutsocial.com. And also video ads are playing 50% completion and a 60% viewability rate. That's from outbrain.com. So we see that video is absolutely productive. And then there's all kinds of apps. So you don't have to go through us to get the short form video, but if we did a long form video for you, there's all kinds of apps where you can plug that video in and it'll cut it up and give you short form clips that you can reuse and kind of bolster your own social media using that. But if you don't want to do that, we can do that for you. I thought this is the most interesting stat here. Short form video will make up 90% of internet traffic by 2025.
Whoa.
So that is that's from vdco.com. Yeah, and it's all based on interest too. Yeah, exactly. Right? Like there's not going to be these long messages anymore. It's going to be video content, right? TikTok changed everything for us. TikTok changed it, and now Facebook has Reels, Instagram has Reels, Twitter is kind of rolling out some like more video. They're kind of being more favorable towards video. So you can't really afford not to do video anymore. It's kind of the main synopsis. I guess last question here. What's one mistake you see businesses still make with video? Even with those stats in mind, what are some mistakes that you guys are seeing, even with some of your own favorite businesses that you like?
They make a video that doesn't really fit their identity. It's the way that sometimes they have these videos edited. It could be like you can feel and you can watch it and be like, I mean, it's this type of business, but they're making this type of video. It kind of doesn't go hand in hand. It's like they're trying to force a certain editing style with that business instead of kind of following what I'm trying to find like an example. Like
I've seen one like a restaurant making like a video editing style like a sports like a sports like they welcome into food like I don't know. I've seen it somewhere where it was like this doesn't really fit because I don't get to see like the product because I want to see like your plate. I want to see like your menu much slower, but they just speed it up. Like, look at all these drinks.
So I really don't know what they have. I just know they made a cool video.
Yeah. It's like, okay, cool. And then next. Yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying.
Yeah, that's a big one for me.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of those on Instagram, which is kind of shocking. You see a lot of those. And sometimes like, I'm not going to call the churches out, but churches be making videos where I'm like, what the heck is this? I'm like, at this point,
That's
like,
true.
y'all become like a creative like team. Like, where is like the overall message of like the gospel in this video? It's like it's a really cool video. It's very creative, like cool. I feel like I'm trying to not call churches out, but I think they should start making more like foundational gospel reaching videos. That's one thing that's been bothering me as somebody looking at Instagram. It's just like all these cool videos. I'm like, cool, that looks great, but nothing in here is like valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah, content inside.
You get so caught up on engagement and reach that you forget to talk directly to my fault. I got to talk directly to the people that this is for. And it'll get to them, right? The algorithms are really good. I think I've gotten TikTok's algorithm is undefeated, right? I've gotten videos that have come up and it's like, oh wow, I was like literally just thinking about this.
That's scary.
Good. It is very scary.
Good. But it's very scary.
Yeah.
And
it's all based on like, you know, my interest, like, and that's, I think Gary V, shout out to Gary V. Gary V mentioned this. We aren't no longer in the content space. We're in the interest space, and that like the content that you should make should be directly related to people's interest that you are trying to reach.
Yeah. I agree with that. That's a quote right there, because I started to notice even myself when I see those kind of videos and those entities that should be creating videos for this big audience, when they create a cool video because they want to be creative, I tend to like just scroll past it. And then when I see something that's more like targeted, like actually has the content that's speaking, that entity has that content that's speaking to me, I stop and listen. Like you're not gonna see, I haven't seen yet a video of like a working out like Instagram person give me just a cool video about like them vlogging, or like this is my car, this is where I stay. Like they may get to that point, but like they keep it like, oh, this is a workout, this is how you do this bench press, this is how you do that. So like you tend to stop and be like, okay, this is the guy I go to kind of watch on different fitness stuff, this is what he's doing. He keeps it to that level. But like if he starts going off, I think I'm gonna keep scrolling, because I don't go to this entity for what kind of car you drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know that's like a very like over like general example, but it's just speaking more of like what people are doing on these social media things. They're just trying to send things out. And I don't think we got to AI, but AI has been funny lately. But
I
love this guy.
I think the moral of this story, there's actually two big lessons. If you're a business owner, you listen here. Video is important, right? Don't confuse that. It's super important, and it's not just quick quantity videos that you can get from AI. I'm talking to somebody in particular here. It's video. Yeah, it's videos that tell a story and that they convert. But at the same time, it's really important to know your ICP, your ideal customer profile, because then from there you'll understand what interests them and then how to reach their particular algorithm. That's going to be important. That's going to be so essential to you as a business owner. You got to have your ICPs. You got to know them like you know your finances, right? You got to know them like you know your cash flow and your balance sheet. And you know, Q3 just opened up, so that should be pretty fresh on your mind. Yeah, you got to know it like you know your P&L statement. But that's all we got. Anybody else got any
business terms? That's a bunch of business acronyms
that Al knows as well, because he's a business owner and he's locked in. He locked in for life now. He locked in. Hey man, anybody else?
RFPs.
Yes, send us the RFPs. Send us the RFPs and all of the other acronyms.
All we do is acronyms.
Yeah, acronym on the death.
It's an episode for business owners only.
Yeah.
Acronyms.
Ooh, business owners after dark. RFP, P&L.
After dark is crazy.
Just go crazy with the acronyms, man. Hey, look, we gotta get out here before we get
after dark. So BOAD.
I gotta go put these burgers on the grill, man.
Yeah, we should go podcast. Yo, that's will be our next podcast. BOAD, business owners after dark.
That will not be our next podcast. And just don't be looking for that. We should go just live like late at night. All right, this is it. All right, hey man, thank y'all for listening to us. Make sure y'all follow, like, subscribe, share this with somebody who you know. Share this with a business owner. Like, hey man, listen to these guys, hire these guys. I promise you, we're solid. We're not as mean as they say we are. All right, hey, thank y'all.
Are we mean?
Who said we were mean?
What a shot!
What the hell?